Hey there. Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome back to our weekly training topic here in the learning community. I am Susan Gaddy, your host, and today we're going to do a little storytelling today. This has come up so many times in conversations with new clients, current clients, soon to be clients over the last couple of weeks that I thought it would be interesting for all of you to hear about. And it really is the story of the journey for me, and I think there's so much in here that'll connect to your journey as well, but the journey of me from owning a consulting company, owning a consulting business, to truly stepping up into the role of CEO of a consulting company. So there's a difference between owning a business, starting a business, working in your business, right? It's almost like in the beginning, like you're kind of working your own job, right? You tend to take on whatever projects come your way. You tend to constantly be trying to figure out where your next clients come from. I was always worried about the money aspect. I was always worried about who my next client was going to be. I would often take projects that, I got to the point where I was taking projects that just didn't fill me up. Right? Because I always called myself an extra set of hands. You can hire us, we'll do anything you need, right? I'm an instructional designer. I teach all these things and I can help you do this, and I can help you do this, and I can help you do that. And for years I did that. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. It was perfect. I had young children. I didn't have a lot of bandwidth to, take on other things, learn new things. I wasn't ready. I didn't want the added responsibility of considering myself a CEO. I was just as happy to be an owner of a company that was paying my salary, and enabling me to be home, not having to go back to my corporate job. Raise your hand out there if you're a corporate escapee like me. And like I said, for years and years and years, it served me, and it served me really, really well until it didn't. And let's talk about what happens in those types of businesses. It's really kind of one of three for most people. You start to run out of bandwidth. Okay, you get good at what you do, you get known for what you do, and all of a sudden, the work that you always did one to one is filling up, filling up, filling up. Great problem to have, right? Tell me if that's you. Do you have that problem? You have so many one-to-one clients now that your time is completely monopolized. So one of the reasons I left, my corporate business to start my own consulting company is I wanted more time freedom. I had little kids at the time. I wanted to be home. I didn't want to go back into the office setting, and I really couldn't find a company that was going to enable that to happen. So, I did what most people do. I started my LinkedIn account. I, got an LLC. I created a website. And then the next thing you know, I'm serving clients one-to-one. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right. But at some point, we just get too busy. We get too many clients. And what I find starts to happen then too is that the work that we're doing is sometimes very varied. Right? We tend to spread ourselves really thin, even within our own discipline, right? Even within our own discipline. A lot of times the level of income you can charge is significantly lower. So as, kind of an hourly consultant, there's a limit to that point, right? There's a limit to where, sort of that money can come from. As an instructional designer, when we take an hourly client, right? We have to invest 20 to 30 hours a week in that client. How many clients can I take on, right? So there started to be all those problems. Ultimately, the one that really pushed me over the edge was I simply couldn't design one more course that I just didn't believe in anymore. Like I had honed my craft and my expertise so well that the level of people I was attracting, the level of work that I was doing was no longer fulfilling to me. I had this much bigger calling where I knew that I wanted to take this genius I had, this talent I had, this vision I knew to be true, and be able to, share that across the world. Right? How crazy of a dream is it to think you could share that across the world? And you can't do that as an owner of a company. You have to step up into that role as a CEO, and you have to shift from, taking the clients that come your way to going out and actively sourcing and selecting the people that are going to fit into the products and the services that you have to sell. So the title of today's session was really, how do you go from being a consultant owner, from being a one-to-one person, and rise up into that next level where you might have team, where you might have, one of the things I always believe to be the CEO is that there are multiple products that you're selling to certain audiences, right? There's a specific target audience. And there's methodologies and strategies and pieces around how that starts to happen. And for most of us, coming from an expertise standpoint, we simply don't have a lot of that knowledge, right? That business acumen sometimes to be able to do that. And so it does require us to, take a leap of faith in ourselves and make some investments and go out in the world and learn a lot of that information, which is actually absolutely what I did and the path that I took. But what I want to share with you today is that if this is you, if you're in this space, if you're ready to quit the chase, right? If you want to produce predictable, steady income in your business, if you want to be able to be selective and choose the clients that you want to work with on the one-to-one basis, but yet have consistent income, revenue to put back into your business, then the best one thing you could possibly do is to create a group training program. Let me tell you a couple of things that the group training program does for you. It enables you to pull up a segment of your clients that are already showing up, right? Pull them up and offer something on your time frame and on your schedule that goes on consistently and constantly. Whether you have a revolving open door or whether you have enrollment periods, doesn't matter. All of those things can be figured out and determined. But the key is we want your salary. We want the operating costs for your business, money to invest in advertising, right? We want all of those things to be generated out of that reoccurring revenue that happens every single month when you have a group training program. And once that happens, now all of a sudden, right, your one-to-one work becomes more passion, more mission filled, right? More selective. I increase my prices of my one-to-one work now. I can actually serve far more clients at my introductory price points. I do more of an introductory price point as opposed to a high ticket for my group program. Again, doesn't matter. Every single one of them work in your business. It's what's the right one for you. So for me, having sort of a mid-priced offer that I know serves my clients exponentially well, which is to help them figure out what their group training program is going to be, right? All the elements to it, how to price, package, position it, how are they going to market it, and to get them into action making money within 30 to 45 days. Because what we don't want to see people doing is spending 6 months to a year crafting all of this stuff that they can't sell on the back end. And we hear about that all the time. So if you know me in any way, live group training programs we think are really the way to go. Recording comes much later when you're ready. Some of you could be potentially ready right now, but some of you that have never run a group training program before, hosting it live without the videos, without all the stuff, like just enabling you to show up as your genius and connect with a certain group and audience that you can have massive impact on and create big results for is life-changing. It'll be life-changing for you, life-changing for your business, life-changing for your income, and most of all, life-changing, meaning that you have then the ability to serve 25 people at a time, 50 people at a time, 100 people at a time, thousands of people at a time. There is no limit. There is no limit. I had a great conversation with someone this week, and she has a wonderful program that gets great results. She's been doing this for years and years, so she knows it works, but she does it one-to-one. And she's serving about 13, 14 clients a week, which means she's investing about 20 hours of her time. And we said, listen, what if we put that all into a weekly series that you did for 1 hour at a time and you served 10 people that way, 15 people that way? You could literally run that side of your business in a day to a day and a half. The execution side of it. The marketing, sales, all that is another size. But the execution side of it, you could go from serving the same amount of people that you do, making the same money, right? in one day versus what's probably taking you 5 or 6 days at this point. So, and then what do you want to do at that time? Right? What do you want to do at that time? Do you want to, upsell your one-to-ones? There's so many things you can do at that point. So the point of this whole conversation today is, the one thing you can do to move yourself from being a consultant, an extra set of hands, someone that takes on every project for all segments of an audience in a particular genre, right? The best thing you can do is become a specialist, right? That's what a live group trading program does, is enables you to become a specialist in a key area, and you can serve hundreds or thousands, right? How big do you want to dream in that same amount of time that you're spending all week chasing down right now? And then you get to decide, do I want a lifestyle business because I want more time at home? Do I want to have greater impact in the world? Right? Do I want to, develop, a completely different offer, branch out to another topic, take on passion projects? The lifestyle then becomes your own. But the flip and the switch there is this idea from moving from, right, a person who built a business that is basically their job, right, to strategically moving yourself and your company forward to decide how are you going to own your time, your income, and your growth. And that's exactly what we help people to do. So I am going to just pop something up here on the screen. I don't know if you know this, but we do offer what we call an 8-week accelerator program. So if you are interested in learning more about that, we have open enrollment going on right now for the 8-week training program accelerator. I'm going to put a link for, even if you're not sure if that program is for you right now, if you're not ready to join and you'd like to just spend 15 minutes with me to kind of laser focus in on what you're thinking about and find out if this is even the right thing for you, we'd offer that free, complimentary, no obligation, 15-minute idea generation conversation with every single person that we are connected to. So I'll drop the link so you can do that as well. But I do encourage you to think, how can I go from being the owner of a company, if this is what I want, to being the CEO of a consultancy? And the best way to do that is a group training program. So I hope you enjoyed this session. If you do, please invite your friends. The best thing you could do for me is to go ahead and leave a comment or hit that little share button, send that out on your page. Thanks so much. We'll see you again next Thursday.